This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
You know, as a Republican, you're doing a bad job in disseminating propaganda and lies relative to this impeachment farce of Joe Biden, when even Fox News struggles to keep up. When you're losing even Fox News, you're not doing your job well. And Republicans are especially not good or bad at this thing they're doing. It is just so transparent, just brazenly farcical. It just is. No evidence. As Jamie Raskin said, no eyewitness, no fact witnesses, no eyewitnesses. It's laughable. And coming out of, after the 6 hours or so of yesterday's first hearings where zero evidence was presented, zero, none, not a scintilla. It was just accusations, one after the other, with no basis in reality or fact. But after they come out of it, James Comer, he gavels out, we're adjourned for the day, and Neil Cavuto takes over, and really, he seems, I was going to say bemused, but he's confused. He's reaching for, where is this going? Why is there zero credibility to this? Why do they have zero evidence? This is an embarrassment. Watch Neil Cavuto, Fox News host, wondering what in the hell is going on.
If there is no further business, without objection, the committee stands adjourned.
All right, for the better part of 6 hours, I had been following these hearings, save an hour off to do my Fox Business show earlier today. I don't know what was achieved over these last 6+ hours. Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto. I want to put in perspective here, though, and we are going to legally go through all the details, but James Comer, the Oversight Committee chairman, had said that there would be presented a mountain of evidence against Mr. Biden. It was referring to President Biden. But none of the expert witnesses today presented yet any proof for impeachment. Now, to be clear, this was not about impeachment. This is about launching an impeachment inquiry. But it is worth pointing out that none of the witnesses today were fact witnesses. That means that none were involved in the investigation into the alleged activities in the first place. What's more, none of the witnesses testified today of direct knowledge of what Republicans have been claiming about Joe Biden. In other words, that the way this was built up, where there's smoke, there would be fire. Again, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm going to be talking to some darn smart ones in a moment. But where there's smoke today, we just got a lot more smoke.
Remember the January 6th hearings, the House Select Committee investigating the insurrection against the United States of America, the attempted overthrow of the United States government, trying to overturn a free and fair, settled American election, trying to end democracy in the United States. Remember that investigation. Remember those hearings. It was pointed. They were organized. They laid out the facts and the evidence and the text messages and videos, surveillance footage, direct eyewitnesses, direct fact witnesses. They brought it. That's not what we're seeing right now. That's how it should be done. Because if they had the evidence, you know they would be presenting it. Instead, they're using the word Biden as though, when talking about Hunter Biden, they're doing it on purpose so the American people doesn't know which Biden they're talking about. Has Hunter Biden done some illegal things? I think very likely. That's my take on it. Never been a fan. I think that he is a rich, privileged kid his whole life, and he has used that to his benefit. I could be wrong, but I'm not up here defending Hunter Biden. I'm up here defending Joe Biden because, as of yet, there's no evidence that we should be attacking him or impeaching him, for the standard of which is high crimes and misdemeanors. You know, like extorting a foreign leader, withholding military aid until they do your bidding. You know, like inciting an insurrection to overthrow the government to try to stay in office. Those types of things. One more clip here of Neil Cavuto kind of explaining this fraud about the use of the word Biden and not being very clear about which Biden they're talking about, because after all, this is the impeachment of Joe, not Hunter, the private citizen.
But many times I saw references to Biden in these remarks, as if they were Joe Biden. Repeatedly, they were references to Hunter Biden. Now, again, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not even smart in interpreting legal shows I see on TV. But when you begin to trumpet what you have as the beginning of an explosive inquiry into the President of the United States to potentially remove him from office, you would think you would bring your A game. Now, maybe this is all part of a pattern and a legal process of which I'm totally unfamiliar. Guilty as charged. But this took over 6 hours today, my friends. Over 6 hours. I wonder.
You would think... You would think they would bring their A game. There is no A game with the Republican Party. I hate to break it to you, Neil Cavuto. That is just not the case. But I can tell you, this is good for America that he's saying these things to the Fox News audience, who really, this is 1 hour of the day, maybe 2 hours of the day that they'll hear actual analysis that is unfettered or unmolested by Fox News executives who want the propaganda element as a running thread through their coverage. I mean, during the day yesterday, there's several clips online, if you're on Twitter, of Harris Faulkner, like, as soon as a Democrat goes to talk and has their 5 minutes, they cut away. And then it's right when they're finishing, then they come back and say, oh, you didn't miss anything. They had a vote, even though the Democrat was talking at length and questioning people. This is a problem that we face in America with Fox News. But at least there's a couple standouts where some people are going to get the truth, and maybe, just maybe, there'll be some movement relative to changing people's hearts and minds and opening their eyes. You know, it's like in the Bible, it talks about the scales falling from their eyes. That's what we can hope for here when we have people like Neil Cavuto, clearly confused, but also messaging the facts and the reality on the ground. What do you think? You can leave a comment below. That would be great. Helps YouTube to decide that this channel might be worth promoting to other people. That would be a great contribution helping out. If you want to help support my work otherwise, you can click the join button below, become a channel member for as little as $1.99 a month. You can support the work, produce the work right here. You can click the super thanks button or go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. If you'd like to leave a voicemail, get your voice on the record, you can call 714-576-4054 or email daily@dollemore.com. You can have the email be as long as you want, but please keep the voicemail brief. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore everywhere. I'd love to see you there, and I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Have a great weekend. Take care of one another.